Hi, welcome to Let's Keep Circussing. This is the last one in the series where we're using our scarves and our poi. And with everything changing and lockdown restrictions being lifted a little bit, we're sort of having a bit of a look at what else we might be able to do. So there might not be a video next week. There'll still be exercise snacking on Friday, but it might just take me a little bit of time to plan what comes next. Don't worry, we're not disappearing. We're just taking a bit of time, a bit of reflection to work out what's best. We've also got a survey live at the moment. I'll put that in the description. If you've enjoyed using our YouTube channel, please do fill in the survey, let us know what you thought of it, and give us any ideas you've got of things we could do next. Right, let's get started. We're going to start with scarves today. We're not really going to do much scarf, to be honest, because we already got you juggling, didn't we, 2 weeks ago? So we're just going to use our scarves for a little bit of a warm up, and then we're going to do something with the poi. I'm going to teach you a different kind of thing with the poi. So let's start by doing our flick and catch. So you're going to flick and snatch, flick and snatch. So it's going from one hand to the other. And then we're going to exaggerate the movement. So when we catch it, we're going to draw a big circle, flick, snatch, big circle. You're really getting your shoulders involved in this movement. A big figure of 8 laying on its side, or infinity symbol. I know this camera seems like it's a little bit low on me at the moment, and I apologise for that. I can't actually get enough room above my head and below my waist in shot at the same time. You'll see why I need it at this height when we move on to our poi. A couple more of those. Good. Now we're going to go for behind the back. So it's the same kind of thing. You're still trying to make that big figure of 8 shape, but you're going to bring it down behind your back and flick it up here so it flicks up in front of your arm. Flick, flick. From this side, I'm going behind my back, flicking it up, catching it in front. So I'm throwing it under my armpit, and then I'm trying to make that figure of 8 shape. And dropping it. See, we all drop them. So let's do a couple in front. 1, 2, then behind. 1, 2. In front, behind, behind. One more. In front, behind, behind. Good. And then before we move on, and pinch it in the middle, we're going to do our single arm circles. So I'm going to do a circle. I'm going to let go of it about here and give it that flick. And I'm going to catch it again about here. So I'm going to go flick, catch, and I'm turning my wrist round whilst I haven't got hold of the scarf. And I'm going to make that really small. I'm going to go as small as I can, and then slowly, bigger, 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 as big as I can, using my whole arm. And then bringing it down smaller, 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 teeny, tiny, teeny, tiny, and swapping hands. So other side, circle. I'm going the wrong way. There we go. And catch, flick, and catch, flick, and catch. Bring it down, make it really small. So now I'm warming up my wrists in this movement. Oh, so much harder on my left. It's a very naughty hand, my left hand, very lazy. And getting bigger. And bigger. And as big as you can. And bringing it smaller, 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 smaller. Good. And that's it. No more scarves today. So let's move on to that poi. Remember, if you don't have poi, you can just use a sock, a nice long sock with some form of weight in it, be that a bag of rice, a juggling ball, a few pairs of socks, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to start with one poi. Remember we did one poi last week? And because I'm in my bedroom and my bed's there and my chair's there and my wardrobe's there, I'm actually going to shorten it by wrapping it around my hand a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to make circles parallel to the floor in front of me. So far we've had them going to the side, we've had them crossing in front, we've been lifting up our arms and taking our arms out to the side. Now we're going to draw a circle on the floor. I call this stirring the pudding. You want your circle to come in from the outside. So if it's in your right hand, like mine, that's an anti-clockwise circle. So we're doing a circle. And it's just coming in towards us. Now, if you've got a very long poi, mine isn't because I've made it shorter, but you sort of have to do this, otherwise you just keep hitting yourself. So feel free to do what I've done and just shorten your poi. Round and round and round. Okay, let's pop that in the other hand. And do exactly the same thing. So stir the pudding. Stir, 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 stir. I hope you're joining in. Because if you're not, I must look really silly. Good. Okay. I'm going to come down on my knees. You don't need to do that. I'm coming down on my knees so that the area above my head is still in the camera. Now I'm going to try and draw those circles above my head. Now the trick here is definitely about speed. Do not go as fast as you can go because it will just end up hitting yourself in the head and it'll be hard. The trick with poi really is to go as slow as you can while still keeping that circle. So round above my head. You notice my wrist does most of the action here. I mean, my elbow's waggling around a little bit, but it's not my whole arm. I'm not lassoing. I'm just drawing little circles above my head. And those circles need to be parallel to the ceiling. If I let it start going off like this, I'm probably going to end up hitting myself in the face. So try and make them parallel to the ceiling as much as you can. Now, which way's mine going? Mine is going clockwise. As I'm looking up at it, clockwise. You should know me by now, left and right, clockwise, anti-clockwise. My brain can't cope with it. Good, so swap hands. So now in this hand, it's going to go anti-clockwise. So it's coming in from the outside. Same as when it was down below. Good, well done. Right, pick up your second poi. So now we need to do 2 circles. And there's 2 different ways of doing this. And to reach the ultimate goal, this is going to take some practice. You're not likely to just pick it up and do it today. But let's have circles going in opposite directions at an alternating time. That's what we're trying to achieve. So alternating when they're next to us, this would be same time or bouncing beat. Alternating is when one's at one end of the circle and the other's at the other. Yeah, a bit like swimming, like front crawl. Okay, but we're not doing circles out to the side, we're doing them here in front of us. So I find the easiest way is to get one going, maybe your dominant hand, because once that's doing the right thing, you perhaps don't need to think about it. And then you're going to bring the other one in the other direction. Now obviously if you shortened your poi, those circles are going to be quicker. So it might actually be a bit more difficult. And feel free to let your poi back out. I just don't have the space in my bedroom. So it's one then the other, one then the other. And I do a little jiggle with my body, or my hips, quite good. My hips are very helpful if I do one then the other, just to help me keep the rhythm. And then we can try making them go in the same direction as each other. I think this is probably a bit easier. So let's do clockwise circles with both of them at the same time, and then try and alternate, which is tough. And go back to the same time. Oh, and alternate. Good. And in the other direction. So we're going anti-clockwise at the same time. And then alternating, one then the other. Look at that left hand misbehaving there. Am I the only one? Let me know, put it in the comments. Tell me about your subordinate hand, how well behaved or naughty it is. As I probably told you, I'm attending poi classes at the moment with Poi Passion. And seriously, that left hand of mine, nah, it's not good. Okay, good. So we've done that down there. And what we're going to try and do is start bringing it over our head. So I'm going to put one poi down again. And it's like a spiraled figure of 8. So I'm going to do my circle down here. And then I'm going to turn my hand upside down, take it above my head and do my circle above my head. So I'm going to really exaggerate the movement. I'm going to turn sideways. You won't be able to see what's going on up there, but this is what you need to watch, what my hand's going to do. So it comes around, I turn my hand upside down, and then I can start doing my circles above my head. And then I need to bring it back down again. So I'm really doing a big swivel on this wrist. I'm going up and I'm coming down. And then what I really want to be able to do is one up, one down, one up, one down. So I'm going to go up, down, up, down, up, down. Now remember, this is YouTube. You can just press pause and practice this for as long as you need to before you move on. Don't feel you have to do it at exactly the same pace I am. These are just short little tasters of what you could be doing to keep yourself circusing at home. Keep yourself active, keep your brain working, keep the endorphins flowing, make you happier. That's the whole idea. Right, let's do all of that in the other hand then. So we're going to do circles down here. And then we're going to try and take it up above our head. So I'm going to turn that hand upside down and bring it up above your head. And then we're going to bring it down. So I've got to bring that hand back round, really using that wrist. And up. And down. Now we should go for 1-1. One up, one down. One up, one down. One up, one down. So, like I said, if you think it's like a spiraled figure of 8 is the only way I can explain the shape that I'm drawing with my poi. I'm doing a loop here and a loop there, but I'm sort of doing a figure of 8 crossover in the middle. Good. Now the fun begins. So, if that's happening for you pretty consistently, you're not bashing yourself in the head too much, then let's try with 2. And there's 2 variations on this. So one is that they're both going in the same direction, and one is that they're going in opposite directions. I'm going to start with the opposite direction one, simply because I find that easier, but you might not find that easier. That might just be me. So I've got 1-1. They're going alternating time, and then I'm going to take one up and the other stays down. Let's slow that down. In fact, let's just take one up and leave it there and have one at the top and one at the bottom. So now I've got one going parallel to the floor and one above my head. And what I want to try and do is swap it. So one comes down and one goes up. Whenever you're ready, just swap them. Even with my poi this short, I'm bashing my wardrobe. Okay, so to do 1 and 1, you're doing this 1 down, 1 up with both hands, but at opposite points. So while one's doing the circle above your head, the other one's doing the circle down here, and vice versa. This does take practice. So please just continue with 1 if this isn't working for you. So I've got alternating time, and I'm going to take one up, the other one, the other one, the other one. I think it's a really nice, interesting, spirally shape. Seems I like spirals. Okay. So whether you're just sticking with 1, start to imagine having 2, or if you've got 2, we're now going to change it so that they're both going in the same direction. Now this one, the pattern's a bit different. I feel like one is following the other one. So they're both going in the same direction at alternating speed, alternating time. One's going to go up above my head and the other one's going to follow. Over, over, under, under, over, over, under, under. So it goes over my head and then under my arms. It's essentially doing the same thing, but it looks really quite different. So there you go. We've got this one where they're going in opposite directions, and we've got this one where they're going in the same direction. Let's just quickly go through the different things with one poi that you can be working on to get you there. So you're doing your circle down here, and you're going to turn that hand right over and bring it up above your head. And then you turn your hand over and bring it down underneath your arm. And then you need to do one up, one down, one up, one down. Obviously you need to practice that in both hands, otherwise you'll never get anywhere. Let me know how you get on. Let me know what you like and what you don't like. Don't forget, you need to give us a like. You need to subscribe to the channel. That brings our ratings up and just shows the world that we're brilliant. I hope you think we are brilliant. And always leave us comments. Let us know what kinds of things you'd like to see us do next. As I say, I'm going to put the link for the survey, for the questionnaire, in the description. It only takes 5 minutes, but it'd be really good to hear from you and really good for us to know what it is that you're enjoying and what we should be doing more of. Now, most of you can start to get out a little bit. You can meet a few people. So maybe we'll look at if we can do some activities for groups, or if you prefer just doing this along at home on your own, then that's also fine. Just let me know. So I probably won't see you next Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday and next Friday, and then we'll see what's happening after that. Everybody take care. Thank you so much for joining us. Keep circusing. Bye.